Good day and welcome to the Lilly Roddy Show, coming to you from the Lilly Roddy Studios here in Houston, Texas. It's so good to have you with me again this week. This week we're going to be looking at January the 5th through January the 11th, 2014. And I hope everyone had a safe and sane New Year's. And, of course, that you had your black-eyed peas for good luck. We had them here. Don't forget to mark your calendars for January the 9th, Thursday, when I'll be doing my annual lecture, Journey Through the Signs. My talk is from 7 until 8:30 p.m. The cost for the lecture is $25. Seating is limited. To make some reservations, you can always reach me at LillyRoddyShow@AOL.com, or you can always find me on LillyRoddyShow.com, or on Twitter, Facebook, and Pinterest. And remember to do the Lilly Roddy Show, not just Lilly Roddy, otherwise you'll get me without the showbiz part. Okay. And I want to say a special thanks to Yvonne and Lorene for helping with the show. It always takes more. The show is more than just me. There are a couple of people helping, and particularly the producer. Well, let's look at next week. In general, January the 5th through the 11th should be a much less tense week than we've been going through, especially during the holidays. The 7th and the 8th, Tuesday and Wednesday, are a bit edgy, but really as long as we're doing what we want, it shouldn't be too bad. Venus is still retrograde until February the 14th, so might as well relax about that. January the 11th now is the midpoint in the Venus retrograde cycle, and that'll be when the Sun and Venus are conjunct. New ideas will be coming to the surface at that point, but keep those ideas incubating until February 14th. Now let's look at the daily forecast. The moon sails along on her journey through Pisces today, Sunday, January the 5th. Moon sextiles Pluto, 5:52 a.m. We're mentally active this morning as we're making our plans for the day. Moon sextiles Saturn, 12:29. Oh, I made a mistake. Moon sextiles the Sun, 12:29 p.m. Great time for almost any activity. It's a wonderful day to be with your friends or with your community. And really, this is really a good day all day. Moon trines Jupiter at 12:43 p.m. It's a real boost in our feel-good energy for the day. If you are working, people are more open to your ideas and suggestions. Step outside of your comfort zone. This is the perfect time for it. Sun opposes Jupiter, 3:12 p.m. The good times continue. We're open to new ideas and others' points of view on a global level. We see more of what we have in common rather than in our differences. This alignment allows us to get a grasp on the bigger picture. It's a good time to consider plans for expansion in your business or in your personal life. Moon sextiles Mercury, 9:10 p.m. We're just trying to put our new plans into practical and daily use. We are full of ideas and conversation. Moon trines Saturn, 9:48 p.m. We finish the day with us tidying up all the edges and putting everything in its place. It's a very good evening to reflect on the activities of the day. Monday, January the 6th, in the early morning, the moon continues through Pisces, the sign of the dreamer. Mercury sextiles Saturn, 2:51 a.m. Pretty early in the morning, but nevertheless an excellent time for planning, scheduling, and generally getting your act together. And even though this is occurring in the morning, the energy is strong through the whole day, and so it'll have an impact on you all day. Moon sextiles Venus at 3:44 a.m. If you're awake, This motivates us to find better connections and solutions to our relationship problems. The moon goes void, of course, after 3:44 a.m. and remains so until 1:45 p.m. in the afternoon when the moon enters self-confident Aries. If you plan your important activities after 1:45 p.m. Central Standard Time, you will have improved options for success. The moon doesn't make any more aspects for the rest of the day, but she is not void of course. Follow through on your plans because tomorrow continues to be busy. Tuesday, January the 7th, the moon resides in quick-acting Aries all day. Today has a real edge to it, so dress accordingly. The moon conjuncts Uranus, 5:20 a.m. We're up early this morning. We're not the most patient people on the planet. Expect others to be the same mood. Give yourself extra time this morning to get things done. Moon squares Pluto, 10:13 a.m. A great time for an emotional flush. Our feelings are right out there. You're supposed to be letting people know how you feel, even if it's not comfortable. You may need to stand your ground. Moon opposes Mars, 3:54 p.m. We're all feeling somewhat defensive. If you could take a walk or some time to yourself, this could really help. People can seem very pushy at this time, but if you're in need of courage, this is a great time to act and take a risk. Mercury conjuncts Venus, 4:02 p.m. We're all speaking from our hearts today. We're feeling somewhat alienated and are wondering why we can't be heard. And yes, you have said this before. If you're at work, take your time and get things done right rather than rushing to the end. Moon squares Jupiter, 4:55 p.m. Take time for an extra long afternoon break because you'll certainly need it. If you can't get away, watch some videos on faraway vacation retreats. Moon squares the Sun, 9:39 p.m. This is the perfect time to be done with everything so you don't feel any obligations pulling on you at any point. You may need some space at this point or you'll just be real grumpy. It'd be great to indulge in some comfort food. Wednesday, January the 8th, the moon continues her journey through high-spirited Aries. Moon squares Venus at 7:19 a.m. We have a lot to do and a long list of things to get done. Try to get most of your plans completed before lunch. Moon squares Mercury, 10:22 a.m. A great time for problem solving or picking things apart. Don't get in a hurry. The moon is now void, of course, until 8:24 p.m. So that's from 10:22 a.m. on Wednesday until 8:24 p.m. on Wednesday. Later in the day, Mars squares Jupiter at 4:36 p.m. This planetary combination is in effect all day. This combination is where our short temper and need to drive home our version of the truth, this is where this is coming from. This can bring out the pompous know-it-all in all of us. This can also bring a real edge to some of the international tensions. Finally, Moon enters stabilizing Taurus at 8:24 p.m. We are pulling inward, some emotionally trying to get regrounded. This really helps after that long void, of course. Thursday, January the 9th, the moon continues in Taurus, the sign of the five senses. The moon sextiles Neptune, 2:56 a.m. If you are asleep, this is the perfect time for processing the crap from the day before. If you're awake, you'll just have to do it consciously. Moon trines Pluto, 6:27 p.m. We've been sort of floating through the day. It's important to keep our focus on what's in front of us. We are contemplative about our emotions and our economic future. And of course, it's a great time to sell insurance or do estate planning. Friday, January the 10th, the moon remains in cautious Taurus all day. Moon sextiles Jupiter, 12:48 a.m. A great time for an early breakfast. A time to appreciate your family. Moon trines the Sun, 11:34 a.m. A good planetary combination for almost any activity. So great for work and especially for presenting your products or your services. Our self-confidence is strong. Moon opposes Saturn, 1:07 p.m. Time to regroup and make sure we're still following our plan. We'll want to make the best use of our resources. And this is a great time for working on your own finances. A little bit later in the day, the moon trines Venus, 1:57 p.m. We are emotionally more available than usual. Relationships are better today, whether they be personal or business. Contact your old customers. They will be very glad to hear from you. Saturday, January the 11th, the moon starts the day in Taurus, which is always a good sign for the moon to be in. Venus sextiles Saturn at 4:44 a.m. We are renegotiating our relationships to make sure that we're on the same track. I know this occurs early in the morning, but this aspect is in effect all day and even affected some of your activity yesterday on Friday. We're all looking at how to make best use of our resources and our relationships. What can we do to get the blocks out of the way? Take some time to focus on this and you'll be very glad you did. Moon trines Mercury, 4:58 a.m. We are up and organized early. Hear that? We have a lot of early aspects in the morning on Saturday. The moon is void, of course, at 4:58 a.m. until 6:26 a.m., just a couple of hours, when it enters Gemini, the wordsmith. We want to use our afternoons, our early afternoons will be the most productive part of the day on Saturday. Sun conjuncts Venus, 6:25 a.m., when we are remembering the most important things in our lives are our relationships and our friendships. Take some time to remember what's important to you. In business, this is a great day to continue contacting old clients. This aspect is in effect all day. Sun sextiles Saturn, 7:39 a.m. Again, so many early morning aspects. Best time for planning, organizing, setting boundaries, establishing priorities, and getting your ducks in a row. This aspect will drive us to be really productive today. And again, this aspect's in effect all day, Sun sextiles Saturn. Moon squares Neptune, 1:25 p.m. We're all ready for a break now. Take an extra long lunch. You won't have as much drive as you did before, but you can still continue at a slower pace through the rest of the day. Mercury enters Aquarius at 3:35 p.m. for approximately the next 30 days. We're all going to feel a little smarter during this time. Our views seem to reflect what's best for everyone. The moon is not void, of course, but there are no more aspects until early Sunday morning at 12:02 when the moon sextiles Uranus. If you're awake, you'll need some diversions. Thank you for joining me this week, and please take some time to look at my other videos here on my YouTube channel on The Lilly Roddy Show. And of course, this is The Lilly Roddy Show. Thank you so much for joining me. See you next week, and remember to keep those stars in your eyes. Bye-bye.